Okay, so we got a C250 here. This is a 2012. Let's see. Yeah, 2012. And this one still starts, but it's got the steering lock issue. It's got intermittent starting. So I'm gonna take care of this problem now before it leaves me stranded someplace, right? At least that's what my customer's thinking. So this job's a lot faster if the steering lock is in the unlock position. Right now, I have the key in the ignition. It was just dropped off on a tow truck. Luckily it started, so we drove it down from the tow truck and we left the key in the ignition. First thing you do is remove the kick paddle. Okay, so first step in removing the steering lock is to remove the screws for the kick paddle. Okay, we're at the driver's side, and that's a T20. Okay, there's 3 of them, one there and one there. I got a T20 here. Just pops right down. Pull it out. There's the OBD2 connector. You just pull this back like that. See? Just pull it back and push it through from the bottom, from down here. Just push it through. It pops right out. There's your OBD2 connector out. There's also, as you can see, there's a light. There's a light back here. This we're just going to pull right out. You can turn it. See how it turns? That's locked. Turn it counterclockwise. Pull the light out. And the last part is this part here. So there's a Phillips head screw on the underside of this. I'm gonna. Okay. And it's right there. Can you see it? Okay, so I just got the little screw out. This is it. Phillips head. Just pull this out and push it through. Okay, it's out. And that's it. You had your OBD2 connector, you had your hood latch release, and then you have a little light here. And then you can remove this whole kick panel, okay? Now, once the kick panel is out, you can see there's the steering column screws at the bottom there. One there, and there's one there. Okay, those are E12s, external Torx 12s. So I'm just gonna get those out. There's one. The other one's over here. Get 2 of those out. And there's going to be 2 more screws to get out up on top. Those are a little tougher to get to. I'm going to crawl under here and then we'll get a shot from it there. Okay, so this is my setup for getting the top screws. I've got an 8-inch extension. I've got a couple with a 3-inch extension, and I've got the E12 socket. And I'm going to use this cordless ratchet. Okay, so this is the underside here. Can't see anything. We're zoomed in really close because there's really no space down here. So there's this plastic pipe here, right? This is just, you just pull this out. Pull this out from here and move it out of the way. Okay, that's out. Just moved it out of the way, and now we can see the bolt that we're trying to get to. It's right up in there. See it there? Okay, I've got my socket extension attached. I'm going to stick my ratchet in here and spin it out. Okay, so the other bolt on the right side is right up here. Okay, so the other one is, I loosened it. I'm not going to take the bolts all the way out. I just need a little room to pull down on the column and reach up on top of the column near the bottom where the ESL is. I'm going to unplug it and remove the 13mm nut, depress the bolt because it's unlocked, and remove it from the column. So this bolt is next. I'm just going to loosen it, you know, probably a little more than halfway. Okay, so I got both of these top bolts loosened up. Enough to buy some room. Those two are loosened. I didn't remove them because it gets a little tricky to get it back up there. You can do it, but this saves you time. So I know this is a super close up here, but I'm on my back and there's no room up here. So this is the bottom of the steering column. The steering lock is up on top of the steering column. I'm gonna see if I can get it on camera up there. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see the camera right now, but it's in this area up here. And so what I'm gonna do is just, I'm gonna stick my hand up here. Here's the steering column, okay? I'm gonna stick my hand up here and pull down on this. See, it moves now because all the bolts are very loose. So the two top bolts are loose, the two bottom bolts are completely out. So now I have enough room to move this down, stick my hand up here, unplug the connector. All right, there's the connector unplugged, okay? And now there's just a 13mm nut that I gotta get off with a small ratchet. So this, you're gonna do blind. The nut is right here. You can't see it, but it's here. So I'm gonna take my ratchet with a 13mm socket and I'm gonna loosen that nut. For the 13mm nut in the ESL, when you're working blind, it's nice to have a setup like this. A little 3-inch extension, 13mm socket, and a 1/4-inch ratchet with a flex head. Okay, so it's out. Very difficult with one hand, so I didn't film it, but this nut was on here like this. And, you know, working backwards, upside down and blind, you just remove it, get it loose, and then you can remove it with your hand, and then you depress it. It depresses in when it's unlocked. That's what's nice about it being unlocked. It depresses and comes right out. You don't have to take the whole steering column out, and that saves you quite a bit of time. Okay, so now that I've got the old factory steering lock out, I'm gonna zip up the screws. I'm gonna put these screws back, and then I'm gonna program the emulator connected to the connector, and I'm just gonna zip tie it up here out of the way. Anywhere up here, there's plenty of space. Okay, so I'm about to program the emulator now. Okay, so I got the VVDI connected. I have plugged into the computer. I just gotta plug in the OBD2. Okay, plugged in now. I'm gonna do a password calculation. We're gonna say 204. And we're gonna click data acquisition. Data acquisition says insert working key to EIS before pressing OK. Okay, so I put the key in the ignition, and then we hit OK. I'm waiting 5 seconds. It says remove key from ignition, and you hit OK. And you put it back into the ignition. OK. says insert working key to device IR reader. Take the key out, put it into the IR reader, and we hit OK. And now this is calculating our password. And that's going to be about 4.5 minutes. Okay, while this is going, I'm going to hook up my K-line. Okay, so I'm going to hook up this K-line here. This is from the OBD2 cable. And I'm going to hook it up to pin number 3 on the ESL connector. Pin number 3 is the one with the white and red stripe wire. So I'm just going to take this little T-pin, going to back probe it. There's the pin in number 3. And then I'm going to connect this alligator clip from my K-line onto the T-pin. Okay, and then this connector is going to go into the emulator when I'm ready. In the meantime, we got a little beep. It says insert working key to EIS before pressing OK. So I'm going to take the key, I'm going to put it in the EIS. And I'm going to hit OK. It says wait 30 seconds. Insert working key to device IR reader, then press OK. Key out. OK. Okay, now it wants me to save the file. I'm going to name it Neil. It's the customer's name. And I'm going to save it in the customer's folder. Now it says upload it. I hit OK. Hit the upload button. Make sure you're in the right folder. It automatically goes to the right folder. And it says communication with server failed. That's because I got no internet connection. So you're absolutely going to need an internet connection to do this. So I'm going to create a hotspot on my phone and we'll try it again. Okay, so I've got the hotspot going now. We're connected. And we're going to try to upload once again. Upload. Upload success. Okay. Now we're going to hit auto refresh and query result. And we're going to hit yes. So this is going to query the server every 5 seconds or so. And in about a minute or so, we're going to see the key password pop up in blue letters right here. There it is. Okay, so we're going to copy this and we're going to go to EIS Tools. We're going to read the EIS. We're going to paste the password. We're going to save this info. And now we're going to go to Esl Tools. Okay, so now we're at Esl Tools. We're going to load the data that we just saved. We're going to click on this little box here and then we're going to hit right.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Gene.
I had to go pick up kid Ryan up there.
All right, so it just finished writing to the emulator, so it should now start the car. There's our emulator. It's plugged in. And we won't need the K line anymore. We can pull this out. And there's our emulator plugged in. And let's see if it starts the car. And we're up and running. And we're done.